Okay, so I've been watching this video of Gary Vaynerchuk on some stage. It's one of his seminars, whatever the hell he calls them. But watching it on YouTube, and talks about I guess a lot of things. But I just paused the video, came outside, had to pee because our water isn't currently working right now. It's well water, whatever. But that's besides the point. But it's really kind of the whole point. He made a comment about how there were probably only 3 people out of 90% of 8 people that actually, raised their hand and said that they would most likely, and I could be wrong about the numbers, but most likely, actually leave and make like this phone call or, make a video and post it, whatever. Like, not like I have to explain myself to anybody, because like, for instance, I'm literally sitting outside by myself talking to a phone, and there's absolutely no one in the world that I need to explain shit to. But that just proves it. I don't remember what the fuck I was gonna say. I was gonna say that I'm not doing this because Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V, whatever, said to do this and post it, whatever. Like, that's not why I'm doing this. Maybe a little bit, because I think the man is incredibly wise, and I know that ever since I found his videos and started taking his advice and his words into consideration, and actually implementing any of that, and in my life, that my life has changed tremendously. But just like everyone else, it's like the main things that have affected me the most are the things that are said that catch me off guard. And it just that shows that he's just human, just like us, just like me, just like you, which is really cool. Especially when somebody who's been through so much, been from country to country to country, and has a story like his. That's his story to tell. I'm not gonna get into that, but someone who's came from where he originated from to here, on top of having so many followers, but the change in him as an individual and the growth that I've seen since I first found him, it's incredible. It shows just how much a person can grow, and just how real it is, and how capable we all are of bouncing back from the shitty things that we've done. The things that we don't want to take accountability for, or credit for, or speak up about, because we're afraid of everything. We're human, and that kind of brings me to the whole point of this whole video. Like, he was asking basically, this is me following through with all the things that I was, I guess, called to speak about. I have no idea what I'm gonna say until I say it, really, at this point. Aside from the little words that, he was saying, like what I'm bad at, what scares me, like my biggest fears, the things that people don't talk about. And he made a valid point, because for me personally, that's really inspiring, and it's the kind of inspiration I needed. Granted, I don't emotionally feel super positive right now, but I know that this is fuel. This is fuel to the fire that I need, that I need in order to provide and, serve the universe and the world however I can. I don't know. I guess I'll just jump into this. So, I'm bad at a lot of things, actually. I'm bad at relationships. And there's no amount of pride for all the times that I've allowed myself to believe that I've done the right thing in every relationship, or any relationship that I've been in, that could ever prove that to be false. And that is a weird looking thought. Please go away. I'm scared of bugs. I don't think I've ever actually said that. Maybe a long time ago. I want relationships with people, with my family, with myself. I think the relationship I have with myself is probably the strongest relationship I have. The one relationship I know that I can count on. And so I use that as my safety net. I don't just bottle up. I try not to bottle up. I used to be a lot better at that, so I guess that's something else that I've gotten bad at. But I'm, not like I need an excuse, but just confirmation and validation from my own, thoughts later on. I am working towards progress. Not working towards progress. I'm making progress. I'm working towards overcoming these things. But that's kind of the whole point of going through it, right? You don't walk down. No, here's a better example. You don't climb a fucking mountain if you don't want to see the top of the mountain. You're gonna go through a fucking shitstorm getting up there, but you don't fucking do it without knowing that there's gonna be an end result. You don't just climb a mountain just because it's fun. And if you do, then more power to you, man. But I guess metaphorically, I could say that that's kind of what I've always done. Climb mountains. And then, I don't know, maybe it's more like climbing trees and falling out. Instead of breaking bones, I feel like it break my heart. You know, it feels like I jump into love, like love relationships. Like, I mean, love is in everything, in all of us, and me and my words, and in the sun and the grass and the trees and everything. But like in a romantic relationship, it's a better term. But I have always jumped so quickly and so what's the word? I dropped my phone. I've always just kind of jumped the gun every time. I don't know if that's not even the term I want to use, but I would jump in before even testing the water, you know, to see if it's too hot or too cold, or if before I even consider whether or not I know how to swim or whatever, you know. And I jump in, and then next thing I know, it's like either I'm drowning or I'm drowning the other person. And I don't want to drown anymore. And I sure as hell don't want to drown anyone else. Not with my insecurities, not with love bombing, or not with any part of me that is excessive to that extreme and toxic to the point where it becomes, or excessive to the point where it becomes toxic. Whatever, we're all toxic. But I know that I have been kicking a lot of toxic traits, a lot of behaviors, and unlearning a lot of habits. I've let go of a lot of people, a lot of relationships. Honestly, maybe I haven't let go as much as I thought. Maybe it's more the fact that I have built walls because I would rather protect people from what I know that I'm capable of, rather than find out what I'm capable of and hurt people in the process. You know, I used to be on stage all the time. That was my thing, performing. And I fucking miss it. But I can't seem to shake the feeling when it feels like all eyes are on me. Even when it's just me. I mean, If it's just me, it's not as bad, but it can be, you know, when I'm around my family, you know, it feels like just this stare. No matter what I do, no matter what I want to do, if it isn't something that is recommended or demanded or asked of or has anything to do with meeting their needs and their desires for their own reasons, whether it has any form of whether or not it benefits me or not, it doesn't matter. You know, if it's what they say, that's it. You know, that's the only freedom I've ever really been given living at home with my parents. And I haven't always lived with my parents, but I've always had this feeling, you know, I've come a long ways, and I'm gonna give myself all the credit I deserve for that right now, because a year ago I would never have imagined being at this point in my life where, I mean, I could even open up to a cell phone, look myself in the face and talk about all this, let alone tell another person, let alone do this with the knowing that I'm not gonna edit it. I'm not gonna go through and cut anything out because I don't fucking give a shit, and I don't have the time to spend nitpicking all the little things that I have no fucking care to give a shit about being insecure about in the first place. You know, things I want to get over. There's no reason to waste my time sitting here saying, oh, well, I didn't say this, or I said this wrong, or I said this word wrong. It's like, you know, no, this is real fucking life, and we can't correct our mistakes. We have to fucking take accountability for them and live with it and learn from it and move the fuck on, or we sink. And like I said, I don't want to drown anymore. I've been drowning again and again and again and again and again, and I'm done. I think my biggest fear is normally my impulse is to say heights. Now I work with in aviation, so that's changed a lot for me. Not saying I've been on an airplane since I started, but it's a different perspective on life and on the world and on people, and the way that I look at people and care about myself and others and take care of it's a good job for someone who can take it seriously, for someone who cares about people, who wants to feel like they're doing something for the world. It's changed my life in a matter of weeks, which is cool. But my biggest fear, I'm not trying to beat around the bush here, I don't know. I'm afraid of a lot of things. Really, and I mean, people are going to say what they're going to say when they see this, if they ever see it or when they see it, whichever. And they may say that, you know, oh, that doesn't seem like a fear, but I mean, if you really knew me, you would understand at least a little bit as to how this could be possible. But I'm afraid of being, in a way, heights. I'm afraid of reaching my potential. Not actually reaching it, because I don't see an end goal with potential for anyone, not just me, for you, for your family, for everybody, for your fucking dog. You know, you could probably teach a bug how to do backflips if you really spent the time. Like, I mean, there's potential in everything. And the thing is I'm afraid that once I really step into my power, which I mean I'm doing every day, but once I really start gaining momentum and I start accomplishing everything that I've ever set out to accomplish in my life, then not only will I lose everyone that I care about, not only will I miss out on so much of their lives because I won't be around. Not like I'm around much as it is. But I'm afraid of what people will think of me and how they will look at me when I prove everybody wrong. I'm afraid of, it's like everybody has to be right in order for them to be happy, but like, that doesn't even fucking make sense out loud. Like if everybody has been telling you you're not good at this, or you should do this instead, or you should do that instead because this thing isn't going to bring you an income, or this thing, you know, low-key isn't making sense to me, so I'm gonna project my insecurities and my fears on you because that is how I'm going to interpret my response and my reaction to the fact that you want to fucking do big things with your life. Not that anything that anybody else is doing with their life is small, but to me, the things that I want to achieve in life are very big compared to where I am now. They're very far away, and I see big picture in a way that it scares me, you know? And I try to talk about it to people, and people don't. They're not on board. They're scared too. You know, I get that. It doesn't make it any easier for me. You know? I could stay in a fucking hiding hole the rest of my life and die miserable. Not gonna happen. Like, this cycle ends here. You know, I've got a lot to say. And it's about damn time that I start fucking saying it. Because I can't live the rest of my life not speaking up about the things that weigh heavily on my heart, on my head, the things that I feel strongly about. I can't keep holding back intuitive messages and channeled messages because I'm insecure about how the words are gonna sound when they come out. That's fucking ego. Who cares? You know, nobody's perfect, and nobody knows what the fuck we're doing. And if they say they do, they're fucking lying. Because they think that they have to have all the answers to make themselves feel better. I do it. I won't tell you that I have all the answers because I know I fucking don't. But you know, a lot of times I know I act like that. You know, I know I come across like I do know everything. some situations, I know a lot about the situation, but I know there's always more. I may not realize it until after I've acted like a fucking asshole, but that's besides the point. Like, I mean, in a way, it is the point. You know, my mouth is dry, and I don't drink enough water. And I know when I go inside, I'm not going to go upstairs and grab a bottle of water, because I just remembered, actually, we don't have any water. But even if we did, I wouldn't. I would probably grab a fucking Dr. Pepper because it has some flavor, and I don't really like the taste that this chewing tobacco that I'm addicted to leaves in my mouth. And even though us not having water wouldn't make a difference, or like right now, it's not going to make a difference. You know, if we had water right now, I don't know, maybe. But it's not like I would go inside and brush my teeth to get that taste out of my mouth. I would just put another dip in because it's comfortable, but it's not. I'm just used to it. It's a fucking habit. It is. It's whatever. One more thing I need to unlearn. And, yeah. Probably just going to post this on YouTube. I mean, it's at 26 minutes and 52 seconds, and I don't feel like cutting it up, so I can go there. And then maybe I'll... Who fucking knows, dude. So I talked about what I'm bad at. I talked about, I guess, one of my biggest fears. You know, I used to think I was afraid of dying alone. But I know that's not the case, because technically we all fucking die alone, and I've already died, so there's no sense in being fucking afraid of doing that again. Because, I mean, I know it's an incredible experience. But it's also terrifying, you know? You know, and yes, I could use my free will right now, and I could say, you know what? No, I'm not going to do this, but for the sole fact that in this current moment, this is one less thing for me to give a shit about, and I'm more concerned about this message than I am looking like a dumbass because I'm fucking chewing some tobacco on YouTube, whatever. I don't fucking care. I love me. I really do. I don't love this. I don't love that I do this, especially as often as I do. And I know it's not good for me. But I'm going to do it anyways right now. Because I am an addict. This is one of the few addictions I have left. It makes it that much harder to let go of. But I mean, I could either sit here and stare at it, or I could throw it in the yard, or I could stop trying to fucking justify my addiction and just make a decision. Because not making a decision is still a decision, right? But this doesn't make me fucking cool. So for those of you that are young and you're watching, you're like, oh, this guy, he's got some cool glasses, which I know, they're pretty cool. But, like, no, don't fall into that shit. I don't know if people still fucking do or whatever, but I know I fucking saw that dumbass camel guy on the TV. God. When I was younger. And that was interesting. Thought the commercial was intriguing because of the fact that, you know, it was rebellious. It's like, oh, this camel smokes, and in school they're saying we shouldn't do that, blah, blah, blah. It's like, the commercial didn't do what I did, you know, whatever. Anyways, enough about that for now. Because, yeah, I am insecure about it. I guess not enough. Oh, shit. About that. I don't know if that was a bug or... It's probably this cricket here that's creeping up on me. It scared the shit out of me. Got a little anxious and saw him coming. Look at this guy. You see him? He's just minding his own fucking business. But for some fucking reason, even a good sign like a fucking lucky cricket scares the hell out of me, because I'm afraid to be happy, because I don't know what it feels like. I'm scared most of the time. I'm absolutely terrified of what it would be like to actually be happy, because that means that I would have to let go of everything that I actually like. My life isn't all bad. It's not what I'm saying. You know, I'm just, you know how they say, like, if you were to get everything that you ever wanted, if you had everything you ever wanted, just like that, you know, you would still want more. It's kind of like that. So what if I did get everything I ever wanted? Like, then what? I don't want a lot. I'm gonna want a lot for the world. I don't really want much for myself. Like, I do, but I don't. I really just want to fucking be able to do whatever the fuck I want. No, like, I want to be able to enjoy every day with the people, or with people sometimes without people, but with people that genuinely want to share that experience with me. You know? A lot of people seem to think that, and I mean, it's obvious why, but a lot of people seem to think that basically it's kind of ridiculous to think that it's possible to have, you know, something like, you know, what you see in the movies, like romantic relationship or a family, whatever. What if it's not? You know? We are all the actors of our own movie, in a sense, you know. All eyes on us. You know, how do you come to terms with the possibility that you were wrong about everything? Everything that you've ever thought that you were, after 20 years, and it's so fragmented, it's not even funny. There's a crow. if you know what the crow spirit animal means, let me know. If you don't, look it up and let me know, because I probably won't after this video. I might, but who knows. I'm just kind of going with it right now. Like, I got off work and I came home, and I had no idea what I was going to do. I had a plan. I was like, my plan was to figure out what I was going to do when I got home. Fucking procrastination at its finest. But I get home, and I get inspired to what do you want, crow? I don't know if you guys can hear that, but he's just calling like a motherfucker. Or she. Harmony. I've never heard that sound before. Not even gonna attempt to make that one. Anyways, I don't know what I was saying. 36 on the clock. Angels, man. They're everywhere. I don't know what you believe in. I respect your beliefs. I don't need to know them, but I respect that everybody has their own beliefs, and that that's, part of the reason we're here is to have our beliefs. So, I can't really disrespect your beliefs. If I ever do, honestly, it might be your problem. Not pulling out that stinger or anything. Just saying. But what? He's talking to me. 1, 2, 3. I'm listening. Three. Creativity. That's what comes in mind. Almost sounded like 5. 1, 2. I don't know. Maybe 3, but a long 3. Fucking crows, man. Anyways. It's really nice sitting out here. Look it up. If you know, or if you don't know what the crow spirit animal meaning is, look it up. If you do, please let me know in the comments below, or wherever you find this, shoot me a message, comment, whatever. I'm not really doing this for the attention, obviously. I don't think I do this because I don't want attention. I just don't. Okay, partially. Now that I fucking said that shit out loud, I have to own up to it. I tend to chew a lot when I don't feel like talking out loud with my words to other people. And then I got so used to spending more time alone, chewing more tobacco, alone with words not spoken, that I got used to chewing more. I chew a lot, that's the point. Don't do it. Just don't even fucking do it. But I can't even tell you that because that makes me a hypocrite, but I just did, so I guess I'm a hypocrite. Anyways, this is a long video. So far we're at 39 minutes, 43 seconds. If you're still here, you're still watching this, thank you. Thank you for being in this space with me. I never really saw myself as doing something with my spiritual knowledge and abilities and so on and so forth. I never even thought that it could become anything like it is now. Yeah, I know. Insecurities. But I never really saw that coming, you know? I had ESP at a young age, and I discovered that, you know, obviously at an early age. But that was really it. You know, that was like the depth of me being psychic. You know, because in kindergarten, when you tell people you have ESP and they look at you and they're like, what the fuck is that? You know, in kindergarten slang. But, like, you don't talk about it anymore, you know? And, you know, the phones we have are fucking as big as our face. And, you know, we were 5 in kindergarten, so, or 4. It doesn't matter. Point is, we had no way of fucking developing that shit at a young age without other people talking about it. And we were young, but it was developing the whole time. The whole time. You know, and that was like, I'm gonna be 29 a month from today. Kind of excited about it. Kind of not. But honestly, why not be excited about it? It's my fucking birthday coming up. I hope it's better than last year. Got dumped on my birthday last year. That was fun. And then I met someone who changed my life forever. Followed my intuition right down to a fucking situation that left me in a position in my life that ended up propelling me forward more than ever. I'm not gonna give her all the credit though. But I do think she's pretty incredible. I mean, she fucking wants to be. But I mean, I get it. I can't judge, you know. It is what it is. I'm not gonna post my romantic situations on YouTube to that, you know, into that depth because, you know, I respect her privacy. You know, I can tell you all about it and not, you know, say her name. I don't really feel like it right now. I'm still healing from it. And honestly, I'm really, really fucking hoping that it's not over. But there's not really any way of knowing at this point. And that's okay. Kind of because it has to be, but also because whoa, see that? My boss just kissed me. No, also because if I did know, let's say hypothetically, I'm gonna be really, really real with myself right now. And you guys, of course, whoever's watching. Whenever you watch this, who knows? If I did know, you know, if it was really over, or if there was really a chance that, you know, her and I could come back from, you know, what's happened between us. If I did know, what do I really want anymore? You know, because what we had was, it was kind of toxic. but it wasn't toxic in here. It wasn't toxic in my spirit. You know, we have toxic habits, have, whichever. I haven't talked to her in a while, but I know, I still have toxic habits. I know we're human. I'm not gonna try to hide that. I felt that. But, I don't know. I try to pretend like I do know, but in all reality, it's not a feather. It's actually one of these. It's a plant or something. That's when she would say something like, whatever. Anyways. There's a lot of reasons that I probably should just let it go and move on, and not just move on, but just fucking drop it and just walk away. You know, but when I really start to think about it, I let myself be honest about it. If it was up to me, I would I don't know. It's kind of always been hard to talk about. Noticing how I've transitioned into this with all of the, like, from 40 minutes ago to this. Whatever. Still gonna post it. I don't give a shit. I mean, I do give a shit. That's why I'm putting it out there, because, you know, if anybody does see this and decides to watch an hour long of Taylor talking about stuff and it helps, that'd be cool. So all I want to do is be a part of the world again. But I want people to know the real me. You know? I don't want to have all these masks on forever. You know, I can't promise I'll be wearing fucking silicone tunnels and at like 50, but I mean, I fucking might be. Who knows? That's a fucking... It's a front, but it's not. But it kind of is, because, you know, it was cool. You know, the bracelets and stuff, like, I feel like I've made it authentic, you know, in my own way. I feel like I'm very authentic, but true authenticity, like, can we even say that we are truly authentic on the outside when every decision that we make is either inspired or it has some sort of an influence that is outside of us, that has to do with another person and another person's ideas or another person's actions or words or something that we've seen? Like, there's always an influence and a domino effect that is creating us and molding us into what we are. You know, whether that's family, whether that's friends, whether it's peer pressure, you know, no matter what it is, like, there's always something that makes us something else, you know, something other than what we were before that something happened. And I kind of forgot where I was going with this, but I'm gonna keep going. Like, I don't know, I was gonna say, like, with the bracelets, for instance, you know, I was talking about these. Yeah, authenticity. Okay, I've never really talked about all this. I've just kind of waited for the moment to say something about it, but no one ever really asked. My mouth is so dry right now. You know, I got my ears pierced when I was like 13 because I thought it was fucking cool. And I mean, I still think I'm pretty fucking cool, but like I jumped on that bandwagon before it was even a bandwagon, you know, back in the Hot Topic days when they didn't sell anything pink. But, you know, I jumped on the trend like everybody else, you know, and I transformed myself into what I wanted to be, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. So if there's something that you or whoever is or might be watching this right now is thinking about that is a part of you now, that whether it's a tattoo, piercing, or a style, or a genre you listen to, or a belief that you have, no matter what it is, like, if it's something that is a part of you now, like, fucking own it, you know? Like, why the fuck should I, like, for example, I've always been very insecure about my teeth. And this whole video, I'm sitting here looking at how, like, my plugs are super white, and my teeth are pretty yellow, and, like, the difference, it's comparison, you know? You keep comparing shit all the time, whether it's, like, me comparing myself to someone else or whatever it is. Like, if you're comparing one thing to another, one person to another person, it's gonna fucking kill something inside of you the more you do it, you know. Unless you know what you're doing and you're actually, you know, moving away from, you know, the negative result of, you know, constantly nitpicking and that competitive fucking, it's the competitive comparison, you know. It's more like, it almost seems like jealousy the more I think about it. I guess technically I'm not thinking too much about it, it's just kind of verbally being expressed. But it was like, I mean, the color right here, that's not me being jealous of myself, but that's me noticing that, like, I want my teeth to be a lot wider than they are, you know. And right now I'm gonna own that, and I'm still gonna post this fucking video because this realization right here, it's like, our insecurities are fucking great. I can't believe I just said that, but I can, because, like, if you can honestly, genuinely, and, like, truly really fucking look at yourself, not just physically, but just in general, and physically, you know, like, physically, mentally, like, your thoughts, your heart, your soul, your spirit, your beliefs, your life, you can be honest with things, be true to you, and you can look at the bad or what you're viewing as bad and different and wrong or not good, if you can look at those things and actually see that these flaws are flaws, right? That they're actually a gift, just like everything else. Not just a gift, but it's a fucking present, like in the present. And if you can be in the present with it, when you notice it, just like I did with my teeth and, this, because what happened there is I realized, man, I really do want really white teeth, like, and that's more fuel for me to do something with that and actually take action on it, because I'm sitting here, I've been talking for, I just saw 55 on the clock, but for like an hour, and that's been, in and out of my head. And like now, whenever we have water and I have a chance, that gives me more motivation and more ambition than motivation, but like versus, okay, I have both. Like, it's more ambition to really make that change for myself again and go towards that again, because there was a time in my life when that was my goal, and then I broke a tooth and some other shit happened. I was doing some drugs and was in a time in my life where I really wasn't taking care of myself, and I just let it fucking go, and then I fell into that habit, and I've been working my way out of it, but at the same time, I've been fucking in it the whole time, But like, the point I'm trying to make here is like, when you can be honest and real with the part of yourself that you don't want to look at because you're afraid to look at it, or because there is some underlying fear there, if you can have compassion with yourself, with your thoughts, with your body, with your mind, with your feelings, and have empathy with yourself, as well, like, and be logical enough about it to really like put yourself first and your own happiness first, versus, no comparison there, but here's an example of walking away from it. But if you could put yourself first, another fucking grasshopper, it's good luck. If you can put yourself first and your own happiness first above your insecurities, and prioritize that instead of going out in public and thinking, man, oh my God, I hope they don't see my teeth. I hope they don't see how yellow I think my teeth are. You're the one fucking thinking it, dude. The more you think about it, maybe they fucking will see it, but you're probably not gonna know about it, so you're just wasting your fucking time, you're wasting your energy, you're wasting your brain power, when in all reality, you could be taking all of that fuel. Think of like a full tank of fuel. Full tank of gas, right? And all of that gas is getting drained out because you're just using up all the gas on your insecurities, on your fear. You're letting the fear, the ego drive. Now, what if you had all that fuel, you had all that gas, and you let your happiness drive, you let your love drive? What if you let your heart steer for a while? Yeah, you're gonna get hurt. Fear is gonna come up all the time. Maybe not 100% of the time, but it's gonna keep coming up. But these are little ways that God tests us. The universe tests us, whatever you believe. It's you can call it a test, but who fucking cares if we flunk because we get another one? I think this might be what people call Earth School. I'm not really sure. I saw that on the internet. It seemed pretty interesting, but lately that's been kind of coming up a lot with the way that things have been going in my life. So, but yeah, like, you gotta put yourself in the mindset, and it's not just a mindset, because like, you gotta want it from here. You know, like, if your heart is as pure as you believe it is, or even if there was one point in your life when, like, whether, it doesn't matter how long ago it was, but if there was ever a point in your life where you felt like your heart was pure, then find it. It's still there, man. I mean, unless you're walking around without an actual heart, in which case, please see a doctor. Or don't go spreading zombies. No, but I guess what I'm trying to say is what I'm learning throughout all this. You know, and even what I've been learning at work, you know, I've been learning a lot just from this job, because the stuff that I've been, like, the kind of job I've been doing is very different. You know, it's been a lot of stuff that I never really wanted to do, because, you know, I told myself my whole life, you know, I don't want to work where my dad's been working for his whole life, like, you know, because he wasn't around because he was working there all the time. You know, he was always at work, so I didn't see him as much. So my relationship with him wasn't what it could have been, you know. And so for years and years and years and years, all I wanted was to be able to do something to prevent that from happening in the lives of children that I may have one day. You know, if I ever have a family, and if or when, I'm in a weird spot with all of that right now, but the point is, we're gonna make mistakes. We're gonna make a lot of mistakes. We've already made all of them. Like, literally, every mistake we ever could have made, we've already made it. The trick is to make it again, but make a different one, and learn from it, and grow from it, and improve your life based on the little things. You know, it's not all about fear and this and that. I'm not trying to, you know, say any of that, you know. I'm undecided as to whether or not I want to wear my glasses, but I don't know. If you're still with me, thank you. I've got a lot to say, and I don't know when I'm going to hit stop, so brace yourself. It could be within 5 minutes, or it could be another video. It could be 2 more hours of this shit. Who fucking knows? I'm off work, and apparently I don't know how to make plans when I get off work. So, sorry if you saw that. I'm not sure if that was on camera, but anyways. Oh yeah, the job. So, I never wanted to work where I'm working now, because I thought that me conforming to a job like this meant the end of everything and anything that I ever could have done with my life and can do with my life. Because both of my parents worked out here at one point. My dad still does. And, you know, I also have what 4 other siblings, and I mean, I've got a big family, you know, but okay, the point I'm trying to make here is when you have kids, not that I know from personal experience, but kind of like when you do have kids and you are a parental figure in their lives, your life will change a lot more than you will be ready to expect. And for the longest time, I believed that my dad and my mom gave up on their dreams. On the surface, but you know, underneath the surface was not that I believed it was because of me, but talking about this, maybe probably some of it I felt, yeah, a lot of blaming myself for being born, which is irrational, but you know, it's interesting. Like, it wasn't my fault that they gave up on their shit, their dreams, not their shit. My mom had dreams, my dad had dreams, and their dreams changed. And that's amazing, because I don't know what that looks like. I think that might be one of my biggest fears, or the biggest fear, actually, because I've been playing guitar for 20 fucking years. Almost 21 years, and I can't imagine a world without playing guitar. But in all reality, I've had a world without playing guitar for a while. For probably about 7, almost 8 years now. You know, and that's not easy for me, because my reality, you know, throughout the cycles of doing the same shit for several years and working my way out of, you know, drug addiction and the low points in my life, and all the things, you know, like throughout all that, you know, it felt like it was still happening, you know, like I was still actually doing something. And then one day I find out, oh shit, I haven't written a song in 7 years. It's a lot of weight, you know, maybe not for, you know, everybody, but I mean, if you can relate and you know what it's like to be incredibly passionate about something, you know, from a super young age till, you know, late 20s, almost 30, like, it's 20 fucking years, man. I remember when I was a kid and I was like super stoked about turning 18 and being a teenager, because all the older kids seemed really fucking cool because they were older, and it's like I couldn't wait to grow up, but like I still can't fucking wait to grow up. But at the same time, like, I can be patient. Like, I'm not trying at this point. I'm not trying to grow up age-wise, but you know, I am. I know what's happening, so there is no try. I'm just doing it, you know, and trying to get back on topic here. Okay. One of many downfalls of chewing tobacco. It's really freaking gross, especially when you do it yourself and you go to spit out that tobacco because don't swallow it. That shit will fucking destroy your insides, and it's gross. And somebody once made some funny comment I'm not gonna make because I just realized how inappropriate that is. But anyways, so still not gonna cut that out either. But moving on. So yeah, chewing tobacco is disgusting. Don't do it. Stay in school, because I know I miss it. That's another thing. You want to know Taylor's life story? Let's go. So, why not, right? I'm already at an hour and 10 minutes. 45 seconds. I ain't got shit to do. Nobody to talk to. Got plenty of people I could talk to, but you know, in all honesty, and I know I'm kind of changing the subject here, and that's fine, but in all honesty, like, I intentionally decided to stop talking to everybody. Not because I wanted to not be a part of their lives anymore, but because, like, the fuck is there to talk about? You know, I have all of this to talk about, you know, but, like, I'm so fucking sick and tired of trying to relate. Not trying to relate, but feeling like I have to try to relate to people in order to have a conversation with someone. You know, like, I've been through shit that majority of the people, you know, my age now are going through. Went through that shit in fucking middle school, and it's like, did you guys even grow up, or were you just fucking assholes to me, and now I'm an asshole to you? It's like, I'm not trying to fucking give people karma. I know, you know, my name, if you really know me, says otherwise, but side note, if you know that name, you probably don't really know me. Anyways, I just realized that's probably, I'm not 100% sure actually. I'm gonna say it anyways, but may or may not be my YouTube name. Okay, actually, yeah. You know what? Taylor Euphoria. TaylerEuphoria on YouTube, and you will find videos of me playing guitar, singing my own songs, along with a cover song, at one of my last performances that I've ever done. Not like I'm never gonna do it again, because actually that's the fucking plan. It's the only plan I have. More goal than plan, but it's gonna happen. I just don't fucking know when, because I want to write new material. And I know I just got off topic with everything I was saying. It'll come back to me if it's meant to be, but you know, I just said that and then I realized it rhymed, which I also just noticed that's the first time in a long time that I've actually, like, immediately realized, like, oh, hey, that rhymes, you know, after saying something out loud like that. But also, you know, if it's meant to be, what did I say? Yeah, if it's meant to be, it'll come to me. Not sure how to verbally work my way back into the way I worded it before, yada yada, but something else that, you know, I feel like saying is, it's really fucking scary. Not forever, not always, but I mean, until that moment, you know, it felt like I was always going to be afraid of actually having faith in something, in anything, and having hope, and really believing that, you know, if something is meant to be, it'll come back around. And, you know, like they say, you know, if someone's meant to be in your life, then, you know, there's this phrase that I keep hearing, or I've been hearing a lot lately. It's, what is it? What's meant for you will never pass you by. Something like that. And I would hear that and I would think, man, but what if it does? But then I find that what is meant for me is already happening, and even though I'm sitting outside in my backyard by myself, I wouldn't trade this experience for the world, because this is exactly where I want to be right now. You know, I've done this a few times where, you know, I've sat in front of a camera and just kind of talked to myself, but I'm not talking to myself here. I mean, I'm listening, I'm hearing everything I'm saying, and I'm really listening, and it's all being, insert word, I don't fucking know the word here, but like I'm experiencing it, you know, and it's all intuitive. I'm not really like thinking about what I'm gonna say or anything like that either, but it's not for me as far as my intention goes, but it is. It's just, it feels like it's really in alignment. You know, I feel like I'm in alignment with where I'm supposed to be right now, and with the world, with the planet, which is nice. It's really nice, actually. I've been needing this experience, and that's actually, just saw 1717 on the clock, but that's actually where I was going with all of that, and then I drew a blank because I saw the number and panic. It's that gross. No, but it's funny because, like, I mean, it's actually not funny, but why do people say that? Like, oh, it's funny, but like, really, in all reality, like when they say like something's funny and they use it in that way, like it's not actually funny most of